Good afternoon, everybody. It is lunchtime in Lori Vallow Daybell's trial, and we had somewhat of an interesting morning. We were all ushered into the courtroom, big crowd today, a lot of people from the public here. The media was there. Every seat was full in the courtroom. In fact, some people did not get in. And we all sat down, and the judge came in and said that there needed to be a sidebar. And a couple of people approached the bench, including Lori and her attorneys, the prosecutor, along with the somebody from the Department of Correction. They all approached the bench today, and then the judge asked everybody to leave the courtroom because it was some private sidebar that needed to happen. And so everybody left the courtroom for probably 30 minutes or so. And then we went back in. And then the judge told the jurors, asked the jurors to come in, and then he told them all that, you know, they had to, he apologized for the delay and had to, continue on with the trial, and that he told the jurors not to speculate about what happened and who had a problem with who or whatever. He said there was an issue that arose. So after that, we thought that Detective Pillar would be back on the stand, but Trina Kay needed to call a witness out of order because he flew him from Rexburg. Dan Moss is his name, and he owns a window tinting company. And my apologies for moving around different places. It's because there are jurors and I don't want them to hear me. Dan Moss owns a window tinting company in Rexburg, and he testified that someone with an Arizona number contacted him in September of 2019 and asked to have an extra tint put on their Jeep. There's Alex Cox's number, we believe, or associated with Lori Vallow at least. And the Jeep already had a tint from the manufacturer, but they put on additional tint on the back window and on the front windows. And they showed text messages that he had with this person about getting an appointment set up to get the tint put on. The tint was put on. He showed a photo from his surveillance camera at the shop when he was applying the tint, and then they showed the license plate. It was hard to read. You couldn't read the exact numbers, but he remembered that it was a Texas plate. He does not recall ever interacting with the person who brought in the Jeep, because it was all done with text, and that was the end of his testimony. And then we heard from the Drug Enforcement Administration, the DEA, a guy who works for them, an investigator, and he testified about license plate readers that the DEA uses to track drug trafficking across the country. They are able to check their cameras that take photos of license plates all across the country on highways, mainly areas where drug traffickers frequently use. He testified that they got a photo of the Jeep in Arizona on the morning that Brandon was shot at. And we saw the photo, we saw the license plate number, it was the same Jeep. Lori did cross-examine him and asked about other license plate readers in Gilbert and Mesa. None of them captured the Jeep. On cross-examination, Trina Kay asked about that, and he said that there are several license plate reader programs out there. They're not all with the Drug Enforcement Administration. So those other ones in Gilbert and Mesa could be other programs not associated with DEA. So the jury saw the Jeep on the license plate readers. The jury was able to see the photos, and then we went to lunch. So as I said, kind of an unusual morning with what happened. We still don't know what that sidebar was about. We have requested some court documents to see if, by the way, I'm next to this place called The Yard, which they say makes amazing milkshakes, and they're massive. They're just huge. Anyway, that is what we will. That is what happened this morning. So this afternoon, more witnesses will be called, I would imagine at one point we'll have Detective Pillar on the stand, but some of these witnesses flew in from out of town. Obviously, the window tinting guy did, and we know that Detective Hermosillo will testify. He's arriving from Rexburg, Idaho, to testify. And we also have a Nick Balance with the FBI. Perhaps we will hear his testimony after lunch today. We're on witness number 11, and that is what we will see. So I hope everybody has a good day. I'm going to grab some lunch, and we'll be back in the courtroom this afternoon. Thanks.